Boston Fire Department and myself, I'd like to welcome everybody to this very special and meaningful moment for our department. And I would like to introduce the gentleman that holds the torch and the leader of our BFD family, Commissioner John Dempsey.
Good morning and welcome everybody. Mr. Mayor, welcome. Before we begin, I'd like to just give us some facts about the new firehouse and also some facts about the one that it's replacing. The firehouse that this building is replacing stood for 68 years. So we're hoping that the new one stands for at least 100 years more. The old firehouse was a one-story building, 10,600 square feet of space. The new building will be a two-story with over 23,000 square feet of space. It will be energy efficient, made with state-of-the-art equipment and material, with a design that has the health and safety of the firefighters as the top priority. To keep firefighters' gear and equipment separate from their living space and potential exposure to carcinogens, the new building will have a positive pressure airflow that compartmentalizes the building into sections, reducing the time that firefighters are exposed to occupational cancers. The new firehouse will fall into the energy efficient category of a silver LEED building, which means it's more efficient, energy efficient, and it will generate less waste with using less water and electricity. The new building will have a much smaller carbon footprint than the building that it replaces, which we all know is better for the environment. Thank you, Dory and Whittier Architects, for this state-of-the-art firehouse design. The fire department is anxiously awaiting the opening of this building. We look forward to our projected opening date of September of next year, or hopefully sooner. Many people have been involved in the planning and construction of this building, but without the support of Mayor Walsh, this important addition to the community would not be possible. I would also like to thank now retired Commissioner Joe Finn for all his hard work in making this possible. Mayor Walsh, on behalf of the Boston Fire Department and the residents of this community, thank you. This building would not have been possible without your commitment to the safety of the residents and the members of the fire department. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce retired Commissioner Joe Finn for a couple of words. Thanks.
Thanks, Jack. I'll be really brief. First off, I just want to echo Commissioner Dempsey's gratitude to Mayor Walsh. You know, this was a challenge. We hadn't built a new firehouse in almost 30 years. And the last one built by the city right up the street on Center Street. And the cost was astronomical. And it was quite a give and take back and forth, but it was the commitment of Mayor Walsh to make sure this house happened and to, if you will, build additional houses in the city. But it's a process, and it without the mayor's undying, support, this wouldn't have taken place. I'd just like to recognize a couple people who were on the building, on the department's plans in this. Chief Darling, who's with us today, retired Chief Operations Jackie Walsh, retired Chief Operations Gerard Fontana, and that whole team put this together. And I'm going to take a minute of personal privilege. I want to thank everyone from the city too, Pat Brophy and his whole team, but I'd like to take a minute of personal privilege and just commend Commissioner Dempsey and the entire department on what you've been able to do through this COVID crisis we're in, this pandemic. You've done a remarkable job in protecting the citizens of Boston, the department, and everybody that you've come in contact with. You should be very proud of yourselves. I'm telling you, it's sitting on the outside looking in. It's amazing to watch, and I think the leadership with Chief Commissioner Dempsey, Chief of Department, along with his command staff, has done an excellent job, and I'm sure with the support of Mayor, nothing was left unchallenged. With that, I guess I'm going to introduce the next speaker, the mayor of the city of Boston, who was a dear friend to the fire department. You think about, since his election in 2014, he's committed over $120 million to this department. Unprecedented, unheard of, and we owe him a debt of gratitude for everything that he's done for this department going forward. Thank you very much. Mayor?
Thank you, Commissioner. And let me, I don't know where I start or where I end, but let me start with what Commissioner Finn said about Commissioner Dempsey. And I want to thank him for his leadership, not just being here today, but throughout the COVID crisis, being able to put on a class of new firefighters without one incident, working to make sure that he protects the men and women of the Boston Fire Department. I want to thank you, the firefighters that are here today. You are our lifeline in the city of Boston. You put your life on the line every day for us, and I want to thank each and every one of you here at Engine 42, but also throughout the entire city. So thank you, Boston firefighters. Thank you, Commissioner, as well, for all of your great work. I want to thank, I'll come back to Joe in a minute, Lieutenant John Soares, President of Local 718. I was saying to John, it's all about timing. You know, it's all about timing. So when the thing's built, you know, Joe Finn, Richie Paris, I don't know who they are, but it's, you got the Firehouse belt. So I want to congratulate you as well, and look forward to your partnership and already amazing work that you're doing. So thank you, Lieutenant, for your great work. To Joe Finn, and today is Commissioner Finn's birthday, so I want to say happy birthday. This is your birthday present. Congratulations. Thank you for all that you've done here in the city of Boston. To Richie Paris, former president of Local 718, whose Firehouse this is. Thank you, Richie, as well. Richie and Joe used to tag team me all the time on a whole bunch of things, and I want to thank you as well. To our public facilities and operations teams who made this possible, thank you. Local 7 ironworkers, and I think Local 37, right? Another 37, is that what I heard? 7 and 37, I know we have 137 guy here. We have 137 guy here, so thank you. 7 and 37, thank you very much for what you do. To all the other trades that are coming behind you, I see at least one carpenter here. I know there's some laborers and other people, so all of you, thank you very much. For Boston Building Bridge, thank you very much as well. For the architects, engineers, designers, thank you for your great work. This new firehouse, the planning of this new firehouse, quite honestly, started probably about 7 years ago when I became the mayor. Then Commissioner Finn came to me and talked about the quarters that firefighters have, the cancer rates, all of that stuff, the poor conditions. And obviously you don't have to be an engineer or architect to realize that when you walk into a firehouse. Understanding the importance of making sure that we take care of our first responders. All of you have done an amazing job during COVID-19. You've continued to serve and protect the residents every single day. I want to thank each and every one of you for your tireless efforts. Since the COVID crisis began, Boston has certainly rallied together to keep the virus under control, to protect the most vulnerable, and keep our city running. This pandemic has shown us how important it is to invest in community health and safety. That's what we're doing here today through our powerful campaign investments like the one right behind me. You all heard this story. This is the first new firehouse built in over 30 years in Boston. It's a $23.5 million investment in Roxbury that will provide positive implications on the entire city. This is a state-of-the-art firehouse, modern firehouse, best practices inside. Our firehouses are second homes to our firefighters. So this fire station also includes new amenities to help improve people's quality of life. It also has a training room on site to help companies stay up to date on training. Currently, our firefighters have to go to Moon Island for training. There is much more accessible options here, closer to home. This station is also extremely energy efficient. It's a shining example of sustainable standards that we have for all of our new public buildings as we move forward. This new firehouse also, for the community, it features a public artwork outside the building. It's funded by the program that we started several years ago, Percentage for the Arts program, which dedicates 1% of our capital budget towards permanent public art. this firehouse is one of many that's going to follow that represents our commitment to protecting firefighters' health and safety. It's designed to prevent contaminants of living areas, improve personal gear for cleaning facilities. It's an important step to addressing the occupational hazards of firefighters. Most people don't understand that. It'll be a model for how we upgrade our firehouses and build new firehouses as we move forward here in the city of Boston. Engine 42 is part of a broad long-term investments for the Boston Fire Department. We've replaced almost the entire fleet of trucks in recent years. We did it in 6 years. We're investing more than ever in firefighters' health and safety because it's the right thing to do. We're making sure our firefighters and all of our first responders have the supports they need because they protect us every single day. I just want to thank, again, everyone who made this project possible. This is, might not get the front page of the papers tomorrow. It might not lead the stories in the news, although they're here today. Thank you. This is important for all of us to understand and recognize. Back in March 6th, we had to pretty much close the world down, or at least close Boston down. And to be quite honest with you, our Boston Fire Department, Boston Police Department, EMS, didn't pick sides. They worked together. You all worked together. And you've been able to continue to keep the people of Boston safe and comforted in their time of need. From the bottom of my heart, I want to thank all the members of the Boston Fire Department, all of our first responders, but today, right now, we're celebrating you. I want to congratulate all of you and thank you for the work you've done. I want to thank Joe Finn and Richie Paris for not pushing me, but guiding me on what we have to do. I want to thank John Soares and Commissioner Dempsey, where we're going to continue to keep the importance of keeping the firefighters' health and safety and your family's health and safety at the forefront of what we do here in the city of Boston. So I just want to, this is an exciting day in the city of Boston. I want to thank you all for being here this morning, and I'm going to turn this floor back over to Commissioner Dempsey.
Thank you. I'd like to introduce President of Local 718, John Soares.
Good morning. Just want to thank the Mayor, Commissioner Joe Finn, Commissioner Dempsey, Richie Paris. You know, following what they've been able to accomplish here, looking at this building, working with the Mayor to keep the firefighters safe, to keep you guys safe. That's what this is all about. Got to talk to Joe Mayo for a couple of minutes just to run through what's going on in this building and how this is going to operate. It's pretty impressive. So thank you, Mayor, for your commitment to that. Thank you, Joe, for what you've done in getting this started. Richie, I'm hoping that Commissioner Dempsey and I can still do the same with you and continue to work and fight for the safety of these guys, because this is pretty cool. This would be nice to see. I'm honored to be here as the president of this union, and my commitment is to continue to work and provide these places for our guys. I mean, Richie got this place going. I figure since he was the president of Local 718, I'm guessing Ladder 7 is next, so that should be good, right? That'll be awesome. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you, and at this time, I would like to ask the mayor to come back to officially start the raising of our framework of the Boston Fire Department moving forward.
I better give a shout out to Local 4 too, so he better be in that machine. If not, whoever in there, thank you. All right, let's raise the beam.